I pay attention on my intellect.
सीता बाबा ने कहा, इन आंखों से देखने वाला मत देख, परंतु मुझ परमात्मा बाप को अच्छी तरह से ऐसा देख जो बिरकुटी के बीच में चमकता है जब सितारा। बाबा को देखते 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 हमारा ये आत्मा स्टार मिसल चमकने लग पड़ेंगी। ऐसा पुरुषार्थ करना हो, सिंपल है, कोई डिफिकल्ट बात नहीं है। कभी शब्द ये नहीं निकलेगा ये मेरे लिए थोड़ा थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है। डिफिकल्ट कहा, फील किया तो राजयोगी नहीं बनेगा। राजयोगी माना राजाई पाने वाला योगी। योग लगा रहा है, सत्य की राजाई तो अलग बात है, मिलेंगी, ऑटोमेटिक मिलेंगी। पर अब भी जो राजाई है न, रॉयल्टी, रियल्टी की रॉयल्टी, ज्ञान रत्नों से बाबा का ज्ञान रत्न मिलते हैं। ज्ञान ऐसे सुनने सुनाने वाला नहीं है, अंदर से मनन चिंतन में, मंथन में ज्ञान हमको पहले मीठा लगता है, फिर तो बड़ा ज्ञान की वैल्यू है। जो हमारे में कोई गुण नहीं था, सर्वगुण मेरे में ज्ञान योग से अपने आप आ रहे हैं, आ रहे हैं, आ रहे हैं। क्यों? बाबा ने पहले शिक्षा दिया, सत्तोगुणी बनना होगा। भले कुछ भी गुण ना हो, तुम सत्तोगुणी बनेगे ना तो सब गुण तेरे में आ जाएंगे। सत्तोगुणी से सब गुण, ईश्वरी गुण आते हैं हमारे में, ऐसे नहीं थोड़े गुण। क्यों? पावर ऑफ प्योर फ्यूचर में थोड़े भी बैर वाले में थोड़ी कोई गुण कला होती है, नशा चढ़ जाता है। हम किसकी संतान है तो वो संतान किसके है? ईश्वर के गुण है। ईश्वर में जो गुण है वो हमारे में आ जाए, वाह रे वाह। बाप के गुण हमारे में आ जाए तो उसके लिए यहाँ किसी का अवगुण नहीं देखना, नहीं, नेवर नेवर। न देखना, न सुनना, न सोचना, न नेवर। इसके लिए नॉट अलाउ। किसी का भी अवगुण दिखाई पड़ा, माना मैं ईश्वर की संतान नहीं हूं, मेरे फीचर से फ्यूचर मुझे नजर नहीं आएगा, औरों को भी नजर नहीं आएगा। हमारे फीचर्स ही नहीं बताएंगे मेरा फ्यूचर क्या है। तो बाबा कहते हैं हमारा फ्यूचर बाबा कैसे बना रहा है, अभी हमारे फीचर से दिखाई पड़े। तो फ्यूचर का ख्याल रखना है, प्रेजेंट हमारा समय संकल्प व्यर्थ नहीं गंवाना है, बहुत वैल्यूबल है समय संकल्प।
Om Shanti. Welcome to Bhakti Parivar. Today is chapter 7 and step 19. The story of immortality, a spiritual way of living. Hold the hand of Shrimat. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. It had been a beautiful journey listening to the original, very, very pure, elevated versions of God. As we are listening and traveling and kind of reviewing what we have understood before and checking that if I am following Baba's Shrimat accurately, holding Baba's hand and following the path of Shrimat. Because the sovereignty one can only claim if I follow Shrimat. Because I am following the dictates of God, not dictates of my mind, nor the dictates of others or circumstances. Because it's so interesting to observe, because our mind and our sanskars also try to dictate us. But if my thinking also now is based on Shrimat, that means then whatever thoughts will come in the mind based on Shrimat, I can act on them, right? They're not based on my sanskars. So alignment, keep checking these thoughts which are coming in the mind, are they based on Shrimat or still the old sanskars kind of govern the mind, use the mind? So when there is this attention of following Shrimat, and then wherever I find that it's the influence of the mind, influence of sanskars on mind, or even intellect, I can immediately change. And I find that as soon as I think of Baba, even just to begin, there is change in my thoughts immediately. Not only change in thoughts, but as Daddy also said, I also experienced that like Baba's qualities start flowing in me. I start experiencing loveful, peaceful, and many, many elevated, benevolent thoughts start coming in the mind. And it is through remembrance of Baba. So then these thoughts now have to be implemented. That means my awareness based on these thoughts, what I speak is based on those pure thoughts. My relationships are based on those thoughts. So keep using those thoughts. And actually for long time, long term, if we follow Shrimat, then it becomes so natural to follow Shrimat because mind also becomes the follower of Shrimat. It doesn't think other way around. That's why in the blessing of very interesting thing is that if there are questions and wasteful thoughts on Shrimat, why Baba has to tell us to follow certain principles? Oh, I want to be independent. I don't want to follow any principles. So it's like you are doubting not only Shrimat, but how important it is that if I follow Baba's Shrimat in this life, because Baba has given us life and he is guiding us. And if I lose that, uh, not following Shrimat, that means I lose my way, and then Baba is no more guide for me. So then what happens in the journey? You keep taking wrong exit, you keep going in wrong directions, and you start feeling yourself very far from destination. But if you follow Shrimat and have relationship with Baba as guide, you will feel not only your journey is smooth, you are moving forward, but also you will feel you are close to destination. Because this cycle of time also has its own influence. Sometimes you will find that time, that generally some kind of influence also on you. But if you are on journey to self-sovereign, then you reclaim it immediately, say, no, I cannot be subservient to this influence of time. Or there are certain time, the pressure of sanskars. And then you immediately say to yourself, I'm not going to do things because of pressure of sanskars. And then to get more power, then you start going into your practice of self-sovereignty, means your eternal stage of truth, of love, of peace, purity. So I start practicing and kind of not only gain power, but mind start changing and using the right direction for the journey. So I find that important of this journey is that I have to follow Shrimat, and Baba is my guide, not to disobey, not even in thoughts, words, of course, not in actions, because otherwise all the bondages of karmas again put me into another cycle. But now I have to settle. My transformation is important, and for that I have to follow Baba's Shrimat. So think about that and then continue on this journey of self-sovereignty. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So Didi will share more afterwards, but let's do our journey first. So would like to invite our two angels. Welcome, angels.
On the day of my next lesson, I am drawn to go to a walk beyond parts of this vast field where I have been before. It is an exquisite morning, and I appreciate having some time to reflect on the many things I am learning in this secret school to which I have been magically admitted. My thoughts go to my beloved father and teacher, and the patience and love with which he has been teaching me. My thoughts are interrupted by finding myself at a gateway. The gates open, as if inviting me to enter. I step towards it intrigued. I don't recall seeing anything quite like this before. On either side of the gate are very high hedges as thick as a wall and stretching out of sight in both directions. It is impossible to see through this leafy green wall or to see over it. So I push the gate open further and walk through. I find myself in a hall of sorts, with one path going off to the left and one going to the right, and a third continuing directly ahead before it takes a sharp turn. I decide to take the path to the right. It is so beautiful. It is as if there is a garden within this garden running along the path. I see the Father is coming down the pathway. He stops and takes my hand. We begin walking hand in hand, and then he speaks.
Godly directions are spiritual notes that create music in your life. Godly directions are called Shrimat, elevated directions. Shrimat comes from the spiritual father or the spiritual children. To follow Shrimat means to bring spirituality into every action. To follow Shrimat is to see the path clearly and to show the path to others. The Father is the bestower of happiness and the remover of sorrow. He shows you the path to happiness.
I let go of his hand for a second to pick a flower. And when I reach for his hand, I realize that he is no longer with me. I wonder where he's gone. I am standing at a choice point and decide to take the path to the right. Maybe I will find my teacher there. The path has taken a few turns when suddenly I come to another choice point. Left or right? I pause and then turn left. I take a few steps down the path. Perhaps if I just peer ahead, I can figure out which of these offers the best way forward. I begin to feel a little nervous. I retrace my steps to the previous choice point and go to the left. There, that seems better. A straight path that goes around the bend and then another choice point. I can hear footsteps. Someone is here. I turn around and see my Father, my teacher, and at this moment, my guide coming towards me. He is moving more quickly than I have seen him walk before, and his arms are outstretched. I run to meet him, and he wraps his arms around me. I heave an immense sigh of relief. He asks me how I ended up in this maze and assures me that I am now safe. He is with me. He asks me if this path, like the confusing journey I was on in the old world I came from, if it feels like that path. I remember the question I had then. Did I find him? Or did he find me? Clearly, This time, at least, he found me.
As you walk this path, always have the awareness that you have the support of the Father's hand of Shrimat and his company of cooperation. This hand and company should never be removed. Because of love, I am now, at every moment, under every circumstance, your guide. As your guide, I tell you what to do, and as an observer, I observe what you do. I give you Shrimat, and it is through Shrimat that the whole world becomes elevated. My number one Shrimat is to consider yourself to be a soul, a bodiless being, and remember me, your Father. This Shrimat is the main foundation of all the other directions. This method is called Man Manabhav. The more love your intellect has, the more you are able to understand and practice this. The soul must now return to its original state of being, completely peaceful and non-violent. Shrimat sets the code of conduct with which to check your daily chart. Whatever food is put into the body has an impact on the soul. Your food should be sattvic. Prepare food and eat it in silent remembrance. Remain introverted. Speak softly, speak sweetly, and speak less. Do not hurt anyone's feelings. See with civil eyes, not with criminal eyes. Keep the state of your mind completely clean and clear of anything wasteful and disturbing. Words are like sharp arrows and carry great impact. Let there be great royalty in your way of speaking and in your exchange of words. Words should show the path to peace and happiness. When actions are performed on the basis of Shrimat, they are viceless and they make your life elevated. Through your every action, give the donation of virtues. I give you Shrimat for what you have to do. If you do not follow my directions, you are being merciless to yourself. Connect with others at the soul conscious level. Let there be a vision of brotherhood. Never find fault with anyone. You are an instrument for bringing into being the time of the golden dawn. You are victorious because you are the embodiment of the blessing of being immortal. Follow my directions accurately and become prepared before the end of the cycle of time. So Om Shanti. We'd like to invite our guest for the evening, Sister Dora from Colombia. Welcome. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Hello, Dora. How lovely to see you.
Yeah, it's very lovely to see you all, Sister Julia, Sister Rita, of course, Sister Mohini, and the Avyakti Parivar family. I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you very much.
So we've got a very interesting topic tonight, right? We've got on the whole chapter of Shrimat. You'll be with us right, for the next couple of nights, right? Next 3 evenings. So we thought it would be interesting to hear from you, about your own experience with coming into this life and following Shrimat. So the question we had is, what gave you the strength to follow Baba Shrimat when you first came? And, when you came, were you actually able to follow most of the Shrimat immediately, or did it take some time to be able to follow the Shrimat? What was your story? What happened for you?
Okay, before coming to Baba, I have to say, to go back to the time when I was a teenager. I was very unhappy because I wasn't feeling comfortable because I was told that I had to behave in a particular way that I didn't feel very comfortable at all. I was told by my family, my friends, and the society that I had to dress in a particular way that I didn't felt comfortable with. And so many things that I was like rebellious. I felt that I didn't want to do it because it wasn't right. I didn't feel comfortable. It wasn't natural for me. So I started negotiating with all of them, with all of their directions, and I say, okay, I'll do a little bit, so you will be happy, and I will be okay. But I wasn't okay. I wasn't happy. So when I came to Baba, especially when I started Murli, it was so fantastic to me because I was feeling, yes, this is what I was feeling. And for me, it was really easy. I would say in one stroke, I said yes to everything to Baba was saying me because it was for me easy to say no more to Parmat, no more to the dictates of everyone and the culture and everything. It was easy and it was really a beautiful experience to realize that I was following the directions that they were not right, and inside myself, truth was something that was trying to emerge, but it wasn't possible. So for me, it was at the beginning one stroke following that Shrimat, really.
Wow, my goodness, that's wonderful story. Wonderful, wonderful. And then what happened as time went on? Because sometimes, I mean, even when we begin and we're doing everything right away, you know, as we really begin living our Brahmin life, of course, the challenges come, right?
Yes.
So how was it as you went on?
Well, the next thing I think was I was happy because I was able to stop Parmat, but then I didn't know this is a journey. I didn't know that the next one was stop Manmat, and that was and I think I'm still in the process. You know, this is a long way that we have to do it, but I start to realize so many things that were connected with my wrong beliefs, the lies that I told to myself, the lies that I believe it. So that was a process, but I have found, and today I really have that experience that following the Shrimat, even myself, is a matter of loving myself and loving Baba. And it's a matter of forging that relationship in a very unique way because it's a two ways relationship. So in the sense that when I can understand better myself, when I can understand better Baba, and when I can love myself in a real way, and when I'm able to love Baba in a real way, I'm able to follow Shrimat in a natural way, and it doesn't hurt. I'm able to say goodbye to the mad.
Oh, it's so beautiful. What it sound, you know, to me, the word that comes as I'm listening to you when you're talking about the love, holding Shrimat, you know, as that it's like a loving connection with Baba. When we're following the Shrimat, it increases our love and our appreciation for everything that Baba's doing and guiding us and giving us all the secrets that we need to know. And so it's just wonderful that you know you've had this it's like a friendship. It's like Shrimat has been. It's not like anything's been taken away, but it's enriched your life, which I think it does, of course, for all of us. You know, but to be able to know that from the very beginning is just amazing. So thank you so much for sharing this evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll look forward to having you again tomorrow evening. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dora. That was lovely. Lovely experiences. So for the rest of us, well, including Dora, of course, but for all of us, I'm going to be speaking and telling our quest for tomorrow. So for Amrit Vela, this is the godly dawn. In silence, I listen to Baba's call. Be mine with your mind. Be mine with your mind. And as we travel in our day tomorrow, so we don't get lost, hold on to Baba's hand and take the next step. Hold on to Baba's hand of Shrimat, of course, and take the next step. And for our night reflection, our chart, reflect on how Baba's Shrimat has guided you and served as a canopy of protection. Have I followed all aspects of Shrimat throughout the day? If not, what could I have done differently? So that's our checking, that's our chart at the end of the day. And we can write down 8 words that describe this experience of being guided by Baba, or we can draw 1 word and do a picture around it, an illumination that describes the feeling of following Baba's Shrimat. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our next step on Shrimat.
Om Shanti. Thank you, angels, and special welcome to Sister Dora. It was nice sharing. Thank you. So now we will do our Avakti journey, and then Didi has something to share with all of us. So stay back with us. So welcome to Avakti journey, Mama's Murli, the lucky star who could speak God's language.
नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, और दृष्टि से लोरियां सुनाई तूने, नजरों से सहलाया, प्यार से बहलाया, नजरों से सहलाया, प्यार से बहलाया, जिंदगानी लाखों की बनाई तूने, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा।
देखो हर बात की भी स्टेजेस है ना, दिन में भी देखो टाइम का है सारा। तो अभी बाप कहते हैं ये तो ये हद का, रोज का अमृत वेला, दिन सुबह का, ये है बेहद का। बेहद में भी अभी हम चक्कर घूम के अपनी जनरेशन का अभी हमारा ये अमृत वेला चढ़ता है, क्योंकि हमारा अभी न्यू जनरेशन का फाउंडेशन और हमारी ओल्ड जो जनरेशन है इम्प्यूरिटी की उसकी एंड अभी कॉन्फ्लुएंस है ना। तो ये हमारा अभी अमृत जो सवेर होता है, सूर्य जब भी सवेर में चढ़ता है ना, सवेरे अमृत वेले पहला वाला सूर्य जब भी निकलता है, हाँ तो देखो कैसा। तो इसी तरह से अभी हमारा ज्ञान का सूर्य चढ़ता है, अब चढ़ती कला होती जाएंगी। अभी मानो सूर्य उदय हुआ है, तो सवेर का जो उदय होता है सूर्य कैसा। तो अभी देखो हमारे फाउंडेशन पर कलम लगाए, ये सैपलिंग, ये मानो अभी सूर्य की सैपलिंग और चंद्रमा की यानी रात की अभी एंड होती है, और फिर वो अभी देखो उदय होता है। तो हमारा क्या जनरेशन, न्यू जनरेशन उदय होती है। तो ये हमारा बेहद का अमृत वेला है, हाँ रोहद का, रोज का, ये अभी बेहद का। तो अभी हमारा ये अमृत वेला है। तो अमृत वेले परमात्मा कहते हैं मैं आता हूँ, रात में नहीं आता हूँ। तो कहते हैं न मैं रात में आता हूँ न मैं दिन में, रात और दिन में, ब्रह्मा की रात, न ब्रह्मा की रात में आता हूँ न ब्रह्मा की दिन में आता हूँ। लेकिन कहाँ, जब रात पूरी होती है और दिन चढ़ता है उसको कहते हैं सैपलिंग, कॉन्फ्लेंस, तब फिर मैं आता हूँ। तो ये सभी चीजों को समझना है और समझ कर करके और बाप से अपना ऐसा जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार पाना है। तो अभी बुद्धि में आता है ना, पाना किससे है, हमको क्या बनना है, हमको ये नर और नारी प्यूरिफाइड बनना, हमको मनुष्य तन में आना जरूर है। ऐसे हम कहें नहीं उधर बैठ जाए, नहीं, बैठने से कोई मजा नहीं है। क्या करेंगे, डेड साइलेंस में बैठ के क्या करेंगे। हाँ वो तो जैसे रात को नींद में चले जाते हैं, नहीं हाँ देखो डिटैच हो जाती है रात को, रोज होते हो डिटैच, देखो नींद करते हो बॉडी, हाँ बॉडी से डिटैच, परंतु वो नींद की है, ये हम चलते फिरते डिटैच रहे इससे। और उधर जाके बैठेंगे, बस बैठ गए एकदम साइलेंट में, क्या हुआ, वो मजा नहीं। हम आते हैं, जागते में तो सब मजा है ना, हा? परंतु उसमें हमको लाइफ की पूर्ण सुख चाहिए। वो हमारा कैसे बने, उसी को बनाना है और उसी में हमको सदा सुख प्राप्त करना, समझा। तो ऐसी बातों को समझते और अपना ऐसा पुरुषार्थ करते, अपनी ऐसी प्रारब्ध बनाओ। आत्मा भी गोरी, शरीर घोड़े, ये नहीं घोड़े, हाँ यूरोपियन घोड़े नहीं, वो तो देखो उनकी तो ठंडाइश में रहते हैं ना, ठंडे मुल्कों में, इसीलिए उसकी स्किन होती है। परंतु क्या रोग है, बीमारियां है, ये है, तो उसका वो गोरापन क्या है, गोरा हेल्थ वेल्थ है, नेचुरल ब्यूटी। वहाँ देखो सतयुग में नो लिपस्टिक, नो पाउडर, नो कुछ, मेकअप करने की कोई दरकार नहीं, क्योंकि वो नेचुरल ब्यूटी है ना। यहाँ तो मेकअप करनी पड़ती है, उन गोरों को भी मेकअप करना पड़ता है, वहाँ कुछ मेकअप नहीं, नेचुरल। और हेल्थ वेल्थ और शरीर छोड़ना करना, ऐसे नहीं अका बैठे मर जाए, हार्ट फेल हो जाए, ये हो जाए, नहीं, कभी कोई वहाँ कभी विधवा होती नहीं। हृदय सदा स्वागिन, ये सदा सुखी सब बातें जो है वो ईश्वरीय बल से प्राप्त है, गारंटी है। कोई लावास हो ही नहीं सकता। लावास समझते हो, कहीं बच्चा न हो, धन हो, फिर बच्चा न हो, बच्चे के लिए हे भगवान बच्चा दो ना, बच्चा होना ही है, गारंटी। क्योंकि धन को नहीं तो कौन संभालेगा। इसीलिए ये सब हमारी प्रारब्ध जो है ना, वो प्रारब्ध के हमको सब कुछ प्राप्त होना ही है। इसको कहा जाता है बर्थ राइट, जन्म से काल लाइफ का जो सब कुछ साधन है वो पूरे मिलेंगे। उनके कोई फिक्रात ही नहीं है। खाने पीने के लिए आज 2 दिन न कमाए तो बेचारे को चिंता रहेगी, अरे बीमार पड़ गया हो, अभी कौन कमाई करेगा, कैसे कहें, घर का कौन करेगा, बच्चों को कौन, फिक्रात होती है ना। तो उसमें कोई खाने पीने के लिए सब आराम से मिलता ही रहता है। खाने तो तुम्हारे बच्चे, बच्चों के बच्चे, बच्चों के बच्चे खाते रहेंगे, पूरे खाते। यहाँ तो चिंता रहती है, ये तो चिंता से कमाया जाता है। तो ये सब बाप कैसे मैं तुमको ऐसी लाइफ देता हूँ, फिर बाकी क्या चाहिए। कभी लड़ाई नहीं, कभी झगड़े नहीं। अभी तो देखो आप, लड़ाई झगड़े ये सब सब दिक्कतें, अर्थक्वेक हुआ, ये नेचुरल कैलेंडर, ये कुछ बातें नहीं, सब ऑर्डर में। क्योंकि तुम ऑर्डर में आ जाते हो, तुम गॉड को ओबे करते हो, तो ये भी चीज सब तुमको ओबे करते हैं। अब तुम उसको ओबे नहीं करते हो, डिसऑर्डर में आए हो, तो सब चीज तुमको डिसऑर्डर में वर्क करेंगे, करेंगे, जरूर करेंगे नीचे वाले तुम्हारे। अच्छा, आज मालती खिलाएंगे। देखो बच्चे तो ऐसे ही शुद्ध होते हैं, बहुत। और ये फिर भी शिव बाबा से प्रेम है। हाँ, याद करती हो ना, भूलती तो नहीं हो ना, रोती तो नहीं हो। अच्छा, अब शिव बाबा को याद कर करके फिर खिलाओ, सबको दियो शिव बाबा को। और खाने वाले लेने वाले भी याद करे। हाँ, देखो, याद दिलाओ आंखों से, उसको कहो याद, हाँ ऐसे आंखों से इशारा करो, देखो। हाँ, दिखाओ कि आत्मा याद करो, आई एम सोल, दैन ऑफ सुप्रीम सोल। हाँ, दृष्टि दे कर करके दियो। टोली को दृष्टि नहीं खाली दो, उनको
शासन प्रशासन अनुशासन ऐसा देखा ना सुना हो किसी ने वैसा। तेरी मीठी मीठी बोली जैसे कोई बाटे टोली, तेरी मीठी मीठी बोली जैसे कोई बाटे टोली। दुनिया सारी दिल में समाई तूने, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा। और दृष्टि से लोरियां सुनाई तूने।
Om Shanti. Wonderful, right? When we hear Mama, she really explained everything, and also she made, there were few children maybe in front of her, so she was telling them to give Toli and Drishti. So it was nice. Thank you. So now our dear Didi, Mohini Didi, will share something with all of us, and then we will close. So let's hear from her.
Om Shanti. One of the important quality every Baba's child need to have is to know how to cook. Yeah, all of you know to cook. Let me see hands, those who know to cook. All the sisters, brothers. What about brothers? They know to cook? Yeah, brothers. It's always, because if you want to eat pure food, you need to know even simple things to make. Maybe rice with vegetables. No, you take rice, or if you have rice cooker, then you put all the vegetables, little bit of maybe mung split dal, and then cook, make nice khichdi, nice pulao. It's very, very easy. And also, then you learn to make very, very easy recipe of Gujarati curry. No, it's yogurt and it's besan, uh, and then you mix it, and then you have some seasoning and you boil it, so it becomes like liquid. And also some simple kind of soups, anything. But it's important because I know that sometimes it happened recently when sister was not well and she did some surgery. So her Yugal, also a BK, didn't know nothing to cook. And she cooked so many things. So I said, well, at least you should have learned few, no? So I also remember when I came to Baba, one thing I didn't know actually was cooking. So Mama was coming to visit our center. It's very early, like in uh, 62 or earlier than that. So the in charge sister said, Mama is coming and you have to cook something for Mama. So I said, I don't know anything and I haven't learned. And because at home there is no need. My mother, my older sister, we are only 3, 4, so they cook. So they said, but you have to feed something to Mama. When Mama will come, you cooked it. It will be very good for you. So they tempted me and start teaching me one or two items, very simple ones. I don't remember exactly which ones, but I know went in the kitchen and I made small quantity and from there onwards I realized that how important it is for Baba's every child to know some of the basic cooking. Of course, you can later on, if it's your hobby, you can keep increasing what you cook, the variety and amount also. And from there onwards, afterwards, I know, when there was this whole thought that I will have to leave India, I have to come and stay at different people's homes, and I will be cooking for few people, and two qualifications at that time, physical qualifications. One is you could sleep anywhere on the floor or if you get bad or not. And second is you should be able to cook. So when I remember coming to London, that was the biggest thing is to, we were 3, 4 of us, we will take turn to cook. And of course there was no bed. So we slept on floor in classroom, a little space there. So was good in a way, sacrifice. But I'm just saying as Mama was coming, I took it as a gift for me that her visit allowed me to learn to cook. And of course, then I start cooking, learn more and more, and cook any kind of thing. So I inspire Baba's children, all, especially brothers, to learn to cook at least few things, basic ones, because it will be very useful at the right time. Right. So that's what Mama's I got gift in my life is of cooking. Om Shanti. Yeah, she liked it. She asked, who cooked this? Who cooked? There were few items. So my name came. I was happy. And of course, she must have liked. So when you come to Peace Village, you can cook also. Okay.
Om Shanti. So now we will close with Baba's remembrance.
Good night. Thank you, Baba, that we are able to meet every evening. So good night to everyone. Take care of yourself. Om Shanti.